Change your diet, change your life, change the planet.
It's 20 after 8 p.m. It's windy outside, it's raining, and the temperature plummeted. It was like 76 degrees today, which is totally freakish for April. It's not supposed to be that warm, but right now it's back down into like the low 50s, 40s, and it might even snow tonight. So winter's coming back with a vengeance. Speaking of which, my day feels like it's come back with a vengeance. Woke up this morning after not much sleep, went to a race, set a new course record, won the race, yay, training's working, and ran 12 miles total, race included. Got home, totally pooped, just felt like the rug had been pulled out from under me, so I took a nap at like 4 in the afternoon, and I got up a little while ago, it was a long nap, and thought, I gotta go for another run. Why, you ask, would I want to go for another run? I've already run 12 miles today. I've done a race. I kicked butt in the race. Shouldn't I just call it a day and celebrate and say enough is enough? No. Some of you may be saying, Tim, why do you push yourself so hard? Why don't you just give yourself a break? Well, I have goals. And my goals are going to be different than your goals. There are 3 kinds of goals that get me out the door. The first one is always the same, and that is to feel better. I was feeling sluggish, I was feeling tired, I was exhausted, I just felt like poo. Being in the house was not going to be good for me. I wasn't going to get anything done. It probably would have led to a depressed state. So I'm like, I got to get out of the house because I want to feel better. So first goal, feel better. Running always makes me feel better. Even if I don't want to do it, even if I feel sluggish when I start, by the end of the run, I'm going to feel better. The second type of goal that gets me out the door are what I call conduct goals. Conduct is behavior, but it's much more than that. If you look up the word conduct or product or induct, any word that ends with a duct, you'll see that the duct part comes from the Latin word to lead. It's all about leading. Okay, like when you conduct electricity, you're leading electricity towards a particular point. You're leading it from one point to another. The word duke, like the Duke of York, duke comes from the same Latin root, to lead. A duke is a leader. So conduct is not just about, conducting yourself in a certain way, but it's also about creating the path that moves you towards a certain behavior, that leads you towards a certain behavior. You can't conduct electricity until you've created the conduit. The conduit is the path that the electricity will pass through so that you can conduct it. So it's like a channel. So I'm building the channel. I'm digging the path. That's what a conduct goal is. It's about creating that path. It's about getting started over and over and over again. If you've ever been trail running or gone to a park where there are trails, you'll notice that the path gets worn down and you wear away the dirt or you wear away the leaves, and there is a worn dirt path, a single track. This is what I'm trying to do in my life. I'm trying to burn that path into me through my conduct. I'm trying to create this path to follow so that my behavior is conducted along it. I'm a conductor. I'm not a coach. I don't coach myself because coaching is all about pushing, at least in my experience. When you coach somebody, you push them. I don't want to push myself or anybody else. I'd like to lead myself. And if I do enter into a relationship with someone where there's a mentoring going on, I would rather lead them than push them. Create the path for them. Create the path of least resistance. That's what a conduct goal is all about. Get started until you've created this path of least resistance that you can just follow down easily. There's no confusion, it's smooth, you've moved away the obstacles, and it's this path downhill that leads you right towards the third type of goal, which is your long-term outcome goal, which for me is running well at the World Championships in Germany in less than a month. I've got like 3.5 weeks till the World Championships. Scary. So first, I'm out here to feel better tonight and just being out of the house already makes me feel better. My mood is changing and the energy's coming up. 2, I'm creating that channel. I'm conducting myself. I'm doing it again and again and again to wear that path of least resistance, because I didn't want to do anything. I was tired, I was feeling sluggish, and that's the best time to create a habit. Engaging in an activity when you feel good is easy, but getting yourself to engage in that activity when you don't feel good, that's where all the money is. That's where all the magic is. That's where change happens. So when you feel your worst, that's when you need to conduct yourself. That's when you need to go out there and work on that channel, work on clearing that path. And you may have a path that's already been cleared, but a storm came, blew a bunch of leaves in it, just like a gutter. Gutters conduct water. Sometimes they fill up with leaves. You got to clear those leaves out. And that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm clearing the leaves out of the gutter or out of the path so that I can see it clearly again. It's like, okay. And then thirdly, I want to kick butt at the World Championships. And that requires that I stick to my plan. And at this point in the plan, I'm supposed to be running 105 miles a week, which is 15 miles a day, 7 days a week. That's a lot of running. Plus a lot of cross training. When I finish the run tonight, I'm going home and I'm going to be on the rowing machine for an hour, just with legs. I don't use my arms. It's an upright rowing machine. So just legs for an hour while I watch a movie. It's a lot of training. It'll probably be an 18-hour week. That is what I believe I need to do to compete well at the World Championships. I'm not going over there to get 20th or 10th. I'm going over there to try to win it. Doesn't mean I will. I'm not telling you I'm going to win it, but I'm going to try. This is the World Championships. This isn't just a local race. It's the World Championships, which means the best people in the world are going to be there. And if you want to compete with the best people in the world, you better stick to your plan. You better do the work. You better clean the gutter. You better grease that wheel, open up that channel, and just do it and do it and do it. Because that's what it takes to compete on a world level. And I'm doing my best to turn myself into a person that is world class. I'm doing my best to take a depressed person that has no discipline whatsoever, that has a hard time getting out of bed, that has a hard time putting on his shoes, that has a hard time taking a shower, that has a hard time doing laundry, that has a hard time brushing his teeth, that has a hard time doing the simplest of things. And I am doing everything in my power to clear that channel on a daily basis, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, however many times it takes for me to get started to keep that channel clear. That's what I'm doing. And I'm going to turn that depressed person, I'm going to turn that person with no possibility into somebody who's world class. I'm going to turn that person into somebody that deserves to be at the World Championships. And I want to feel better. And I want to conduct myself in a way that is exemplary for me, so that I can be proud of myself, so that I know that I gave my best, so that I will have no regrets in my life. But I'm not going to tell you this is easy. It's not easy. In fact, I used a little device to help get me out the door tonight. It wasn't a carrot, though. It was chocolate. After the race, I stopped at a co-op in Albany, New York, and I got myself some really good raw chocolate. But I didn't eat it right away. It wasn't a fix for the car. I used that to grease the channel sometimes. So I wake up from my nap, I'm totally groggy, put my feet over the side of the bed, and I'm just sitting there with my head in my hands, just feeling awful, knowing that I need to run, but it's the last thing on earth I want to do. And then it occurred to me, I bought some chocolate. Yay! So I made a deal with myself. It's like, Tim, you can have a big piece of chocolate, but you can't have it until you're fully dressed and in the car driving into town to go for a run. Okay? Then you can have the chocolate. So the chocolate was a way to make that path slipperier, to make running easier. I greased the path, okay, like a slip and slide. But it's not a reward for good behavior. The reward is feeling better from running. The reward is conducting myself in a certain way and clearing that channel and creating a positive habit. But the biggest reward is knowing that I'm doing something that might create an extraordinary result for me at the World Championships in a few weeks. And I'm running with that. I'm running with that knowledge that the steps that I'm taking right now might create a future for me that is really extraordinary. So to recap, first, you want to make sure that what you're doing and your goals make you feel better. If you feel worse after doing something, don't do it. It's the wrong thing. Number 2, conduct yourself. Lead yourself. Create that path. Clear the leaves out. Move the rocks. Smooth it out. Reduce the resistance. Sometimes you might need chocolate or something like that to make that path even slippier so you can just slide your way right out the door to whatever it is you want to do. All right? And then thirdly, have a large goal in mind. Something that's really extraordinary, but doable. Okay? A realistic goal. Is it realistic for me to do well at the World Championships? Yeah, because I'm putting in the time, and I've been putting in the time for years. So for me, that's a realistic result. But it took years to get there. Make sure your goal makes you feel good. Conduct yourself in a positive way that leads you towards something extraordinary. Your life can be extraordinary if you take the steps. Okay, so get started. Love you guys. See ya.